Hey guys, so in the previous video, we covered the cash flow statement. In this video, we're going to do the debt schedule. So let's begin. So what are line items, right? Beginning cash plus CFO plus CFI. That goes from here to here. Less finance cost that takes you down to here. Less mandatory payments, we're going to compute that. Less minimum cash, we have a formula for that. And let's just add equity raise here, right? Because if you raise equity, that's additional cash that you have. So beginning cash, just link it, right? Nothing fancy. CFO plus CFI. Again, nothing really fancy. Okay, finance cost, we will compute. Mandatory payments, we will compute. Minimum cash, right? What was the assumption? We had assumed, they had told us to assume 10 crores here, right? Why is it negative? Because you are subtracting out this 10 crores from all of the cash that has been generated by the company so far till this stage, simply because come what may, right? You need to have 10 crores of cash on your books. Now, if the business doesn't have this, it will be pulled through a revolver, but the business must always have 10 crores of cash on its books. That's the reason we're doing this. So let's just let this sell. Let's just clean it up. Yep. Equity raise. Let's just go straight here. Just sum all of this up, right? Okay, so once we're done with this, right? Next step comes revolver. You might ask me why, right? Before revolver, you should compute prepayments of debt. That's correct. And we're doing that at this stage, right? Less mandatory payments. We haven't computed it yet, but it will be an input to this number. So we will do it in a bit, but let's currently just focus on this. So ending revolver. Let's go to the balance sheet. Here. Okay. So extract drop this. When will we raise? This is less than 0, right? We will raise at that point. This is less than 0, minus of this, else 0. And what will the pay down be? And this is greater than 0, and this is greater than 0. It will be minus of minimum of this and this, right? Else. And we need to be a little particular about the science to make sure we haven't made any mistake. And we're going to test this revolver at this stage. Suppose this number was minus 100, right? Is my revolver working? It's working, right? Because if it's minus 100 means at this stage I need $100 of cash. I'm going to pull down that $100 of cash, and then next year when I have cash, I'm going to pay down that $100 of debt that I raised the previous year back. So it seems to be working. So let's just interest rate on revolver. How did we get this? So this is nothing but, let's go to the key assumptions, right? So they told us interest rate on revolver should be LIBOR plus 5%. So LIBOR is 0.4. This is 5. So it's nothing but this. Let's just recompute it, right? Let's just do this plus this. Let's just lock both cells. Let's just, yep, that's it. So interest expense on revolver will be, again, it will be a circular reference, right? So it's equal to 0, 0, else this. So we have interest expense on revolver, good. So once we're done with revolver, right, let's just come up with, let's just change this line item and call it something else. Let's just say cash available after revolver for dividend, right? will be this plus sum of this, right? So the cash that you had available for Revolver plus the total net change in Revolver. Now, dividend payable as a percentage of cash available. Let's just assume this to be zero. You might ask me why. Now I'm going to tell you why. That's simply because they've told us that whatever excess cash is available in this business, right, which is this amount, should go into paying down the debt that you have, the debt that you have used, that you've raised to buy this company, which is lien 1 and lien 2, right? So we're going to assume it to be zero. So just say dividend paid will be nothing but minus of this into this, right? Let's just make sure it's working. Suppose I make this 10%. Okay, sign seems fine. Let's just link this back here. Right? 1 minute. Yeah. So cash available after Revolver for sweep. And when I say sweep, it's just excess money that you have to pay down existing debt. So it will be nothing but this plus this. Because, why plus? Because sign of the dividend is negative. So if this was 10%, this would be this minus this, right? So yeah. So cash available for sweep, right? For the first lien and second lien, what is the assumptions? They've told us it should be 50%, right? 50 and 50. We can play around with that assumption, but for now it's 50. So for both these types of debt, right? Let's just build out the schedule and let's just begin from scratch. So let me just lock this here. Unlock it actually. Yeah. So let's start with the previous year's ending balance, which would be FY20. This is term loan first lien, right? Yeah. Drag and drop this. Let's just say some. Okay. Let's just remove this line item. Yeah. So we have how much additional money are we going to raise through this instrument? Nothing, right? We don't need it. We're going to raise nothing. Mandatory pay down. So this is 1% of the starting balance. So it will be 1%. Let's lock this off. Let's lock this as well. And this will be negative. Right? Now, this line item, right? Cash sweep. Let me just change it. Yeah. At this juncture, I have this much amount of money left in the company after I've done everything to pay down debt or to take out in dividends or to do anything that I want with it, right? And I've been told, as per the problem statement, that I have to use this to pay down the principal balances for both of these 50-50, right? So let's just do that. So let's just say this will be minus of this into this, right? But think about it once more. Is this correct? Are we missing something here? We are, right? Because if this cash balance was really high and 50% of that balance was more than the total amount of debt that we have, your debt balance on the balance sheet would become negative, and that doesn't make sense, right? So we're going to have to adjust for that. So let's just do that. Let's just call it minimum of this and this plus this plus this. Yep. I think that makes sense. And let me illustrate to you why I did this. Suppose I make this number 1,000, right? I had a lot of cash this year to pay back all of the debt. I'm only going to pay back 462 while 50% of this will be 500, right? And then this balance would be negative. So that notwithstanding, that's the reason I've done this. We have cash sweep here. Interest rate on term loan firstly. And what is this? This is the same thing, right? That we did for Revolver. Nothing but it's L plus 5, L is 0.4. So it'll be 5.4%. Let's just recompute it here. Let's just relink it, right? In case some of you are wondering how we got 5.4, it'll just be this plus this. Lock these cells. Interest expense, so it's a circ, so we have to put the circ in 0, 0 else average of this into, right? Yep. Now we do the same thing with the second lien. Take this. What I do, I just linked it to the next cell, right? Yeah. On the balance sheet. So start this. Raise again, we're going to assume we're going to not raise anything, just 0. Mandatory pay down, this is going to be 1% of this, right? Negative sign. Oh, by the way, this should also be adjusted for the same thing that we adjust for here, right? The minimum amount. So it should be minus a minimum of this, comma, this plus this. Yep. Let's do the same thing here. Minus minimum of 50% of this, or this plus this plus this. Yep. This is getting paid back in 2 years, right? Why is this still 0? Because we've not put the minimum amount here. So it's just minimum this, comma, this plus 25.84, 0.58, it's 26 point. Yeah. So this plus this is equal to this. Yeah, that's fine. Interest rate on second lien 7.4. We get this. What have they told us? It's nothing but L plus 7, right? Same logic. You don't have to really think about this. Just link it to this, lock this plus this, this. This is again a circ. Let's just say if circ is equal to 0, 0 else average of this. Sorry, if circ is equal to 0, 0 else average of this, comma, this, right? Okay. So now let's just compute the total finance cost, which will be nothing but sum of all interest expenses, right? Which will be interest on revolver plus interest on first lien plus interest on second lien, right? Let's just change the name of this, right? Interest expense on yeah, 1 plus 2 plus 3. I think that's fair. And now since we have a model, let's just link everything properly, right? So let's first, okay, before you do that, net pay down of debt, right? So it will be the same thing, right? Sum of this plus sum of this plus sum of this, right? Sum of the net raises of all three debt instruments: revolver, term one, lien one, and term loan lien two, right? Okay. Well, now just let's link everything back, right? So total finance cost, let's just link this to the P&L. Hope we don't make any mistakes on the sign. Yep. Where else do we have to link it? Link it over here. Cash flow. Link it back over here. Right, so we have this net pay down of debt. Let's just link that here. Okay, we have this finance cost. Signs are important. This should be negative. Right. Mandatory payments will be just this, right? It will be this this. Yep. Okay. Seems fine. And let's just link everything that's left on the balance sheet, right? So cash is going to come in the cash flow statement, ending cash balance. Yeah, equity is going to be nothing but this plus PAT plus equity raise, if we do an equity raise, which we're not doing in this case, minus dividend, right? But since the sign of the dividend is negative, it'll just be plus. Okay, revolver, let's just link the balance from the debt schedule. It's going to be this. Term loan lien one, same thing here. And term loan lien two, same thing, right? Okay. So we have a fully functional three-statement model with an LBO attached on top of it. How do we know it's working? Because let's just go to the check line item. Everything seems to be checking, right? The balance sheet seems to be checking. So seems to be, we've done the right thing. So in this video, we have completed a three-statement model with an LBO attached on top of it. In the next video, we are going to go back and compute returns, just to talk a little more about what are some of the other things that you will face when you're doing an LBO case that we didn't do today. So see you guys there.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you found it useful and also got a few actionable insights.
Check out our website and join the mailing list for regular content. Do spread the word and share it with anyone else you think might find this useful.